Greetings of peace and paradise, family. Greetings of peace and paradise, family. I am so elated and honored, as we all are, for you to take this time to share your heart, your mind, and your time with us. Literally every single day, we are exposed to over 70,000 different chemicals, and it really doesn't matter how much we may try to avoid it. We're harming ourselves, and we're really harming the future. A landmark cord blood study showed that before babies are even born, they're exposed to over 200 chemicals. And I don't know about you, that really wasn't my goal when I was pregnant. It wasn't my goal to actually poison my own child, but we all are doing it, and we see an increase in autism and all kinds of disorders, and they're on the rise of really figuring out what the problem is and really coming up with the solution. Over 40% of the population has disease disparities, and we've really got to get to a point that we stop just wallowing in the problem. We've been fortunate that through pain, through what many will call loss, we've had a lot of lessons. When I decided that I was ready to expand my family, I got pregnant, no problem, but had miscarriage after miscarriage after miscarriage, stillbirth after stillbirth after stillbirth. But it has become really something that has been powerful and impactful for lots of other families, because we were able to serve them in the search and pursuit for our own solution. Well, just like that particular aspect of our journey, after I had my baby, we realized that before I was pregnant, we never got to address the root issue of why I didn't want to get pregnant at that time. I had been diagnosed with aluminum toxicity. Well, I come to find out that most people have heavy metal poisoning. Some worse than others, but most people have some level of it. And if we want to get better in living and not having to be scared as we navigate, because fear is not something you want to live in. You want to be able to live your best life with freedom. So the ability to cellular detox daily is vital. The ability to restore your system at a cellular level is essential. And it's most impactful when we're also able to add to the cellular detoxification, the cellular restoration, the cellular protection. And we really found that. We found that in a way that I wish I didn't have to. But after I had my baby, my sugar skyrocketed without insulin up to 500 and 600. My pressures were at 2 something over 100 and something. So for all intents and purposes, I was supposed to be in a coma, but I wasn't. I was going to bed every day by about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, getting up at about 3 o'clock in the morning, because I had to get ready to make sure I had this amazing breast milk, which was never enough. My body just hadn't rebounded because I had done over 31 weeks of bed rest. And as you can hear, this 18-month-old of mine is ready to join us in all of this work, and he wants to live his best life and presenting it. But what we found is that, like everything else we had found in our journey, all of the answers literally were already put here by the creator of the heavens and earth. And it just took the right people coming together with certificate of analysis from third parties to let us know that what's in the bottle is in the bottle. Too often, a lot of the companies you'll find in your pursuit of food and nutrition, they actually don't care about us. And there's a song by Michael Jackson, if you're not familiar with it, do Google it and listen to it. They don't really care about us. And they profit from our pain. They profit from our lack of knowledge, and they profit from propaganda. So if you don't have a certificate of authenticity, I urge you not to buy it, because you don't know what's in it. And when you go into these spaces and places where the Food and Drug Administration is overseeing things, realize that the Food and Drug Administration, by and large, are people who come out of the pharmaceutical industry. Once again, profits before people. So I had reached a point where there was basically a situation of me not being able to be a mom anymore unless I changed something. And I was fortunate that my husband was open, coachable, and teachable at a time that I really didn't have a whole lot of hope in trying another thing, because nothing had worked up until that point. But I knew that the creator hadn't gotten me this far to let me go out without a fight, right? And I knew that I had this vision that the creator had given me of me being a mom to several children and having an amazing family and doing amazing works to help to transform the world. So here we are today. I ended up having a husband who invested into the same wellness preparedness kit that you're looking at here. And at that time, initially, he started us out with the Daily Detox Plus, Restore, and V Plus. By doing that, we really shortchanged ourselves. We constantly kick ourselves, because we realized that we should have gotten everything you see on the screen. But not knowing enough, we just didn't know. And we didn't trust the people that were sharing this with us enough. So we took what we thought was the right course of action, and we caused me to have to wait months more, suffering and pain, when we had things within the THC-free CBD line of our line that literally could have stopped the problem. So when we added that in, things got even better. But let's go back. Daily Detox Plus, Restore, and V Plus, my sugars between a Friday and a Monday dropped 150 points. When I added in the THC-free CBD oil tincture, Relieve and Dream, my life transformed. It was the first time that I hadn't had any pain all day. When instead, I used to have pain all day, every day from the time my baby was born. At that point, we were in excess of 11 months in. Right. So you should have kind of sort of rebounded by that point, and I wasn't. By adding in the Region X to the regimen, we saw that there was a perfect synergy, because my breast milk immediately went from breast milk insufficient, me trying to make all of these teas and trying to do all of these things to hydrate. They say lactate, which means just basically just bring the baby to the breast, bring the baby to the breast, bring the baby to the breast. But my milk production just wasn't enough. Yeah. But then all of a sudden it was, you touch my breast and I became a milk squirter. So not everybody here is interested in that, but I want you to understand that if you help your body at its foundation, your body then will end up producing the extras, right? The things that babies need, like your hair, your skin, your nails. Last thing we added to the equation was Moringa Plus. When we added that, I felt like I was literally in another sea of miracles, because weight started dropping off effortlessly. We know so many other people whose testimonies are way better than ours, people who have had literally 149 pounds drop just by using the things you see on the screen within a year. And they weren't exercising or doing the things that normally I say you should do, right? You stop eating this, you start moving your body more. But I literally was 31 weeks in bed rest. So I got a chance to see what it felt like to be at the largest levels of obesity at weighing over 300 and some odd pounds. And what was amazing is literally when we started the regimen, my husband witnessed me running, and I hadn't ran anywhere for a while.
Yeah, you figure a wife who had a C-section and was having issues of discomfort for over 10 months, begin to take the product and then start running around, moving, not realizing that she's running around and moving around like that. So
the next day,
literally the next day, I'm looking at her like, babe, why are you running around? Do you realize that I'm not running? I'm just moving. Like, she didn't realize that's good of the efficacy of the product and how fast it worked for her. That she was able to do all the things that she needed to do and didn't realize that she was doing it.
Oh, yeah. Sister Manny, are you nearby and able to unmute? Because your story for us was one of the ones that like reminds you again why we love what we love. Are you there?
I am here and would love to share my journey.
Because I remember talking to you and saying, hey, you really got to get this. But then there comes a day when you get the COVID-19 positive. Can you share with us what happened?
I sure can. Yeah. I woke up, that was like a Saturday morning, right? I was waiting for my Navon delivery. I had missed it the day before. And was a little, bummed about that because I was excited to get my product. And I woke up that Saturday morning and just felt horrible. And I think we spoke that morning, and I was just like, oh, something is really like hitting me hard. I'm, and at that time thinking and hoping it was a cold, but knew I need to get my my wellness kit. It did arrive that Saturday, and I started on the Daily Detox, Restore, and V Plus. And took some time to rest, like over the weekend, but was feeling well enough Sunday to get up, start cooking, and noticed I wasn't really able to smell anything. So, my wishes that I was only dealing with a cold were, melting away fast, but I was already starting to feel better. Monday, I went in to be tested, for work. And, as I was just spending hours waiting at a testing site, in my head sort of thinking like, I'm coming out of this, so I don't even know why I'm here. But nonetheless tested. My results for C19 were positive, and I knew that I wouldn't, be returning to work that week. But by the Tuesday, had I not tested positive that very next day, I would have returned to work. That's how well I felt in comparison to 3 days prior, when I just knew that I had never felt as bad as I was feeling that Saturday morning when I woke up. It was serious, and I was scared.
And you
But
don't have, like some people, any specific comorbidity or anything like that you were dealing with, but it knocked you off balance, for lack of a better term. And I've heard so many people who felt that they, were pretty much okay. They thought everything would be fine. But this has been one of those things that's really showing us the level to which our bodies are just being impacted, just living in a toxic modern environment. But I was
absolutely.
glad, right? Because you had your wellness preparedness kit. Sister Grace, are you close by? Are you able to unmute by chance?
I am.
So you're another one. You have great health, don't have the issues that I, like people like me that have chronic disease have. And 60% of the people who die from COVID are the ones with chronic disease. But as Imani and so many other people have got a chance to find out, and I know as a medical researcher, it doesn't really matter if you do or don't. You're going to find out how bad things get when it gets down to it. So you have your wellness preparedness kit, and I know you've helped a lot of other people who have been exposed to COVID-19. And can you kind of share some of those testimonies and some of the amazing transformations you've seen, in addition to your own mental fog?
I sure can. We've had older people in our circles who had comorbidities. One particular sister, she was taking care of her mom. She's the guardian of her mom. She sent the mom away to prevent, the mom from getting COVID. The mom, where she sent her to, she got COVID, brought it back home. And it was wonderful. Like Sister Imani said, her kid came right on time. She was able to take the stuff, and within 24 hours, she was back on her feet. So that's just, totally awesome. For myself, as you mentioned, I've had an issue with brain fog. Years ago, I went on a regimen because I had heavy metal toxicity in my cerebrum cortex, and that's where you do your thinking. And when I found out, I was freaking out. I thought I was gonna die. I spent a lot of money and took a lot of horrible tasting pills. And when I found out about the daily detox, I was like, where were you? I could have saved myself money as well as taking nasty stuff, because this thing has no taste, and it was able to clean out the bad stuff, and as well as with all the other things you see on the screen, help me to put the good in so that I'm able to function much better. And now today, when I'm like, really, I have to focus to get a task done, the V Plus is my go-to, because it gives me energy, and that energy to block out all the noise and to just concentrate. And, I would describe the feeling as if like an outer body experience, because you're seeing yourself and noticing the clarity and the focus of yourself. And it's like you're looking at yourself and going, ooh, this stuff really works, And then the CBD products, my fiance, he unfortunately had a heart attack. He was in a house with people who had COVID. He was taking his products to help him quickly recover from his heart attack. And the fact that he had a comorbidity, And so the fact that he was able to take these products in a house with two people who were totally laid out from COVID, and they're looking at him going, what's up with you? Why you're not down like the rest of us? And it's
the
because
part of it, they weren't even using protective gear. They started coming around him more after they got positive with COVID.
Yes. So then, as you said, it's, the beauty and the potency of these products is that it gives you the protection, because it protects you from this current C19. It protects you from the flu, which we know, is the yearly thing that they want you to be get a vaccine for, and anything that's coming down the pike. Because as long as it's a virus, if it's cancer, if it's any of these, major problems, it goes in at a cellular level and attacks the problem. So then you can, as you said, put in the good, the restore, the CBD, rub on your region next, put in your moringa, and it helps you to get to the point where you want to be. There's some people, they just started, their testimonies was they started with the moringa. They were able to lose 149 pounds over a year, not doing any exercise or anything else. And to me, that is just huge. Because now when I added into my regimen, it just makes it all the better. I'm a person, I practice, I only eat once a day. So in the morning when I take that, it keeps me full until it's time for, to have my meal. And then I know that it's also clean, taking care of any inflammation, any, other problems. And then it's nourishing me at a cellular level. That's just huge.
Right. And that's the part that's amazing. We all can look at each of these pieces, and on the actual website, it actually breaks down a certificate of analysis for everything. And you can get to see why you need each of these things, because it's the synergy of what each of these things represent that gives us cellular detoxification, cellular restoration, and cellular protection. Text us at 757-982-7777, and we'll give you a little bit more information and help you to launch your own wellness kit. You literally have options available whereby you don't have to waste money. We're really passionate about a healthy relationship with your finances, so we'll help you to launch your wholesale account whereby you can end up making way for the good.